Welcome back to your favorite Sacramento sports show,
Beam City Sports.
Yes, sir. We are back at the Beam City Sports Bar. Got my boys with me, Jackson, Luke, and Devin. How are we all feeling?
Feeling real good. This weather's got me feeling immaculate right now. I think it's like a perfect 69 degrees, so we're feeling nice.
Yeah, feels great outside. Dev, how you feeling?
Pretty good. Glad we got the Spurs game over and done with. Hopefully we put all that past us, and I'm feeling great. Ready to get into the game tomorrow. Big game against the Clippers, right?
Yeah,
tomorrow
big
and then
game.
Back to back.
Huge.
So ready to get into it. I know that he's probably feeling a little bit more excited than us down there.
Yeah, Jackson, Lakers, 8-game win streak. How you feeling?
I highly recommend having Luka Doncic. Hey man, I'm not
feel
gonna
good.
lie.
Feel good.
It is a euphoric experience. My life changed February 1st. I'm not gonna lie.
Man, I can only imagine what you're feeling right now, man. You got LeBron James and Luka Doncic on your
You
team.
could have had that.
Hey, damn.
You could've.
That
but
hurts.
shout out Marvin Bagley.
That hurts down here. Hey, shout out Marv.
Shout
man.
out Vlade.
Yeah, we really could have had Luka Doncic in Sacramento, but now the Lakers get him, and they've won 8 in a row.
Yeah.
The Luka and LeBron experiment looks to be working at all levels, and this is a scary Laker team, man, but we'll jump into them more later in the show. Got to start with our Sacramento Kings. Last night, De'Aaron Fox was back in Sacramento in a Spurs uniform.
Yep.
Crazy night in Sacramento. We got the dub, though. But, yeah, I want to hear how you feeling about this De'Aaron return.
I think when I woke up in the morning, I had a whole lot of empty emotions. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to feel tonight. Like it's all just going to come to fruition when he steps on the court. And like I was nervous. I thought everybody was going to be booing. I thought it was all going to be kind of a sad show there. But no, there was a lot of love for De'Aaron for sure. When I saw the little tribute video on TV, it did bring a little tear to my eye. I was like, damn, 8 years of great basketball right there. But we got the dub. We got to move on. Zach LaVine, baby.
Yes, Zach LaVine. But, yeah, that was great, take on De'Aaron. I definitely agree with you. I felt some empty feelings in the beginning. I've been, hating on him a little bit since he's been traded. But last night, it really made me, open my eyes a little more. And I still love De'Aaron, as a player, as a person. Yeah. He did do a lot for Sacramento, got us to the playoffs for the first time in 20 years pretty much. So shout out to De'Aaron, man. Sad that he, wanted out. But... hey, I'm not mad at this team we have right now. We look pretty damn good to me.
For sure.
Dev, how do you feel about
it went exactly, honestly, my bad. It couldn't have gone any better to me, in my opinion. De'Aaron came back. He didn't get fully booed in intros. There were some. Boos always do kind of drown out cheers, in my opinion, in person. But it was cool to see on, the video recordings, Matt George on Twitter and all that. They posted that. And there was the cheers kind of did outweigh the boos, and then they gave him a standing O for the video, obviously. And then it was back to business. I'm not mad at them for booing every time he had the ball. If I was in there and I was feeling it, I would have done it too. But I'm glad that they gave him his love when it was due, and then it's all back to business. And then the other side of it, the player you got for trading him went crazy.
Yeah.
Had a obviously better game. Aaron 0 for 6 from 3. Was just kind of inefficient all night, just missing easy looks I expected to make. Every time he put a 3 up, I was like, most of them were open, I was like, damn, that's going in.
Yeah,
but,
they look good.
So honestly, it went perfect. But Zach LaVine, he's crazy. And it's like, I was talking to you guys yesterday, and I was talking to the homies. I was like, this is the closest thing I've experienced to Steph Curry, bro. But not even just being that great, but just the scoring efficiently and the flurries and the runs he goes on his own. It's amazing to watch.
It's crazy, and we've never had someone on the Kings do it from 3 like what Zach does.
7 of 11.
Yeah, it's fun to watch, and it really just gets the crowd going. The crowd, everyone loves when they see a 3 go in, but when Zach LaVine's pulling from the logo, on a run in the second quarter, the arena was jumping.
The one he hit from the squiggly on the K,
his jumper is so pretty too. Pretty.
It's so quick.
It's beautiful.
It gets up quick, and then it's kind of just a laser.
Everything about that man is beautiful.
Valid. But De'Aaron, man, I definitely was in a weird spot going into this game, like I said. But I am happy with what the Kings fans did, giving him that standing O, giving him the respect. It was a little weird to me that it was in the middle of the game and not before the game.
Yeah, first time out.
But that's fine. Whatever. It looked like he was close to crying, but he didn't end up crying, and had the whole arena standing ovation for him. And then, like Devin said, every time he touched the ball, I was very excited to hear those boos every time he touched the ball. It just felt like a playoff atmosphere type of game, even though the Spurs are kind of out of it. No Wemby. So the real test will be next year when the Spurs have Wemby and then De'Aaron's on their team still. I think this could become a little rivalry.
That's what I was thinking. That I feel like this is definitely the start of a new rivalry.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah, of course De'Aaron's gonna get that brewing just because he played with us, but I don't know. I feel like both these teams can really match up really well with Domas playing with a whole new team next year, and then Zach LaVine. He's really molding into something that not a whole lot of people were questionable about it.
Yeah.
Just like kind of him being a little bit older than De'Aaron and being in Chicago for so long. It's really making me happy with this right now, and that rivalry is very exciting.
Yeah, definitely going to be a fun one. We did hear some weird rumors about Domantas Sabonis, though. We'll jump into that in a bit, but I do want to hear what you guys took away from just a lot of this De'Aaron stuff that came out before the game yesterday. If you guys heard anything on, shout out to Carmichael Dave on 1140. I know these guys were locked in over there. Any information you guys heard that could be interesting?
I think it was a lot of just the same stuff that we kind of already knew, but just a little bit more from his point of view behind the scenes. And so, we know how, crappy the organization has been, but I'm just glad it's over. It's all past it. I don't think we really learned anything too new, but besides the fact that he was really the only one that kind of did want Mike to stay.
Yeah.
But, that's the only really new thing we learned. I think we kind of put it together, a lot of fans, and he said there was 3 or there was a few others but I'm not going to say names but obviously we're going to be able to put that together. It was probably Monk, Sabonis, and Keon, a couple other guys, but that's the really only new thing. And then the Domas stuff came out where he wants to see clarity. I don't think that's as bad as we're thinking it is right now, but I'm not going to blame him for doing that either. He kind of just wants to know where we're going, maybe if we're going to keep Doug, what we're going to do with that. So.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous on the Domas stuff, but the De'Aaron thing, he's the only one that really wanted Mike Brown to stay after last year, and that's very interesting to me because after last year, I was on board with re-signing Mike Brown to the extension, give him the bag because, he got us to the playoffs, and he was the first coach to do that in 20 years.
Yeah.
So I was on board with giving him the extension, but obviously a lot of guys in that locker room were disappointed with what happened last year, and they weren't on board with what Mike Brown was, the game plan was with Mike Brown. So that really tore apart the locker room a little bit. There was only... we always thought when De'Aaron got traded, he had some sort of beef with Mike Brown, and then it comes out that it was the complete opposite. That it was kind of Mike Brown and De'Aaron against a lot of other people in that locker room, it's a very weird situation.
Yeah, that was the big surprise to me that I heard the other day from Carmichael, but Carmichael Dave. But just hearing that he was the only one that wanted to keep him, that makes me think back to the beginning of the season when we were signing Mike Brown. There was a question that was just like, all right, talks have tabled between Mike Brown and the Kings, and everybody's just like, why? We just got to the playoffs.
I was on that shift too. I was like, why is there even talks? That should just happen.
So, all of this coming up right now kind of shows why that probably happened. These few players maybe were talking to the management and didn't want him back, but then they talked to De'Aaron, and De'Aaron probably said, no, I want him.
And De'Aaron also said he's been through so much change in his time in Sacramento, so many new players coming in, a ton of new coaches. And he said he's not going to play for another new coach in Sacramento. He's going to play on another team with a different coach if they fire Mike Brown.
Kind of a bar.
But also kind of irritates me because then we fire Mike Brown. And it was after the Pistons game that we were all at, where De'Aaron fouled Jaden Ivey on that 4-pointer, and the Kings blew a 25-point lead or whatever. And then they fire Mike Brown the next day, and then Doug Christie comes in, and we win 7 in a row. And De'Aaron is a big part of that. It seems like the whole team is clicking. And then out of nowhere comes out that Rich Paul's saying that De'Aaron's preferred destination is the Spurs, and that the Kings should look to move him now. It just came out of nowhere for me after, even though we didn't know about the coaching situation before, that De'Aaron was so ride or die with Mike Brown, it's like, you didn't see the potential with this Doug Christie-led team, 7 in a row against some good teams, after a weird start to the year. It felt like everyone was finding their rhythm, and then that comes out and just changes everything. So that's why I felt some sort of way about De'Aaron, still feel like the boos were valid because of that, the way he left, but he did, bring a lot of positive games and a lot of just great memories in Sac.
Yeah.
With the big hair, with coming in as a rookie. When he got drafted,
Dragon Ball Z.
me and Devin, we were like 15 years old.
Yeah.
So he's been on the Kings, and we're 22 now. So it's crazy to see where things turned out, but happy with his time in Sacramento.
Yeah, no, very happy with that. And then I mean, kind of in his defense a little bit more too. When the whole trade rumors were coming out, and when he was pretty much going to get traded, he didn't even know, like, the media already knew about it. That's why someone reached out to him and Rich Paul. Was like, hey, is it okay if I break the news? And he's like, what? Like, I don't even know. Like, I need to know the news first before you break it. So like that kind of, I feel bad for him right there. They kind of treated him a little bad on the way out too.
Yeah. Also, he came out and said before he got traded that he was pushing the Kings to get, a wing defender who could help this team, or a big, because there was a report that came out that he was telling, a guy like Keegan that most teams, their best players are wings.
Yeah.
Those Tatums, those LeBrons, those KDs, all that, most of those guys are wings, and the Kings didn't really have anyone like that. I mean, DeMar is a wing, but he's not that lengthy defensive guy. And then after we moved De'Aaron, then we decided to go out and make a move to get what he wanted, which is Valanciunas and Jake LaRavia. So I kind of just really wish we did those moves before, because now it really jeopardizes our future a little more, even though I think Zach LaVine will stay in Sacramento for a long time. It kind of changes the future of this.
It shakes up a whole lot, just because a huge reason why Sabonis and DeMar are here is because of De'Aaron.
Yeah.
So yeah, it shakes up pretty much the whole landscape for us right now.
Yeah, it's weird. I was happy to see De'Aaron, dapping up guys like DeMar and Malik and Domas and all that. It did feel a little weird, but
the Domas one was
it was quick. They didn't really look each other in the eye at all. But with a guy like DeMar, De'Aaron was one of the main reasons DeMar decided to come to Sac.
Yeah.
And he probably told DeMar, hey, let's build something here. I'm trying to win here with you, and I think we can do that. And then he goes out first season halfway through and requests a trade. So if I'm DeMar, I wouldn't be too happy with that, but it was good to see them, be super mature about it and keep it, on the court is whatever, and then dap up off the court.
I think he probably kind of, it probably helped him get over it by, grabbing a guy that he played the last 4 years with. So, I mean, that probably helped. But, yeah, he probably for a couple weeks after, it took so long for us to play them that, stuff really had a long time to brew. But,
yeah,
they're adults. They're grown men. I don't really think, I think they were just kind of coworkers who didn't agree on the management, and they were just kind of forced to work together, but they didn't hate each other like that. So I think that's how it kind of what it kind of grew into at the end of Mike Brown's thing. But at least DeMar's kind of got his guy that he's been with, one of his good friends, and hopefully that kind of gets him to stay a couple more years. Hopefully he finishes out. Hopefully he retires the King. Hopefully we don't really have to trade him or anything, but. Yeah, it's a super shitty situation, and breakups are always tough. That's what everybody's been saying, but I agree. So, but it's really crappy, but it's good that it's over. I'm just 100% glad that it's over. For sure.
Jackson, let me hear from you on this De'Aaron saga, return to Sac.
I think it was you had pieces, and the whole Mike Brown thing is coaching is very situational, right? So. Mike Brown, when they excelled, he had a lot of defensive pieces around him, kind of lost a few, and Davion Mitchell, Harrison Barnes, Davion might have not played a ton, but then again, it's also something self-inflicted. He didn't play Keon Ellis.
Yeah, so this year especially.
A change needed to happen, especially with that beginning, even with the 7-game win streak with Doug Christie. I felt like there was, that was more just a really hot streak, and that couldn't be consistent. There was nothing there that was, going to be held consistent.
Yeah.
Same with the Lakers beginning of the year when they had 6-game win streaks to start the year and stuff. I didn't think that was consistent. Just guys were playing out of their minds.
Warriors at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, exactly. They're 12-3.
12-3.
Yeah.
But I think with what they have now, the offensive production of LaVine, DeRozan, and what Sabonis brings too, that's a more consistent offense because you have two guys who can give you 25 to 30 every night. You have Malik Monk who can give you 16 and 5.
Yeah.
And then you have Sabonis who gives you triple double. Right. And then they're also utilizing the role players a little better with LaRavia, Keegan, and Keon.
Yeah.
Especially in that defensive role, and they're always having guys out there that can defend.
Yeah.
And we talked about it earlier too that Malik, I know he wants to start, but defensively, it should really be Keon.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they have enough playmaking as a unit. You don't really need a true point guard there.
You don't. The league is a lot different. And I feel like Zach does a really good job handling the ball and playmaking for other guys. Even when he has it going, he's going to shoot his shot if he catch and shoots from three, but also he's not overtaking everyone's game, and he's finding other guys. Him and Jonas have a great two-man game, honestly. Yeah.
The assist numbers might not show it, but he's made some great passes the games that I've been watching. So I really do agree with that, and it's just that I feel like they get off to so much better starts when they have Keon and Keegan in the starting lineup, and then even if your offense isn't there right away, you're still holding guys to slow starts because you got two defenders on the court. And then I'm going to say a big shout out to J-Val too, because he's really just came in and just been Sabonis kind of, the scoring, maybe not as much, but he's still efficient and getting 12 to 13, but it's the assists and the rebounds. I feel like the rim protection's a lot better too. Like maybe he was kind of like just selling in Washington a little bit, because he honestly hasn't been a good rim defender like to start the year. So I feel like he was kind of, phoning that in, and now that he's here and on a competitive team, it just gives him even more that much to, I'm gonna give my best on defense. So, I mean, big shout out to Valanciunas.
I like that.
To go off of that, like he was in Washington, there's so many players, like even Kuzma and all those guys, like they were all on bad teams. They're not going to compete as hard. And so their value is going to go down. Like how many more players are out there that are really going to be like, oh, they contribute right away to a title contending team? Like even you look at the Nets, like a guy like Day'Ron Sharpe, their backup center, he'd probably be a very, very valuable piece anywhere else in the league. He would probably start for Lakers.
Yeah. So there's a lot of guys on these lower teams that could contribute if in the right situation, and I feel like Val has really found the right situation, and we have him under contract for some years. So now we have, we keep Sabonis. We'll get into the confusion a little bit more exactly what happened, but if we keep Sabonis and Val, that's the best two centers duo in the league,
for sure.
So bonus starting and Val at the backup. That's just
having a starting caliber center on the bench is insane.
Yeah,
I never thought I'd see the day in Sacramento.
Yeah, we've never had that. We've never had that. So it's really just fun to watch Val make this team flow better and just like Devin said, protect the rim better than we thought he could. And he's not blocking a ton of shots, but he's more just being there.
Too.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of steals, which is very impressive. Yeah, he's just a big body down there.
Yep. I got to bring up Laravia as well.
Balling
out. I mean, obviously not scoring a lot, but man was all over the court, guarding every position again.
Yeah.
And he, coming off the bench and doing 27 minutes, 6, 3, and 8. And then the handle, I forgot who he mixed up.
Chris Paul. Chris Paul. Dude, he cooked.
He cooked Chris and got around the corner. That was nice.
I'm happy you brought that up because I wanted to bring up the handle that he showed because, damn, he's got some stuff to his game we haven't really seen.
Yeah, I feel like he's really starting to bring out his whole potential.
Yeah.
We're starting to unlock it right now with this whole squad. And I was also going to say, I like that starting lineup that we had.
Yeah.
I'm down with, probably not going to run it again once everybody else is healthy, like Domas, but, I want to run that lineup for sure.
Definitely a good lineup, like Jackson said. I mean, Keon in the starting lineup has been great, and Malik might have to come off the bench because, Devin said, there's a lot of games where we start out slow with Malik in the starting lineup, and then it's kind of like we wait until Keon gets put in the game to really make a little run.
Yep.
So why not start Keon out there, let Zach handle the point guard duties a little more, and then bring Malik back to that off-the-bench guy scoring 18 to 20 off the bench, which is something we don't have.
Yeah.
It's just a weird spot because we put so much, faith into Malik being that starting point guard, trading De'Aaron. We probably told him we're giving you the keys to the offense. This is your team now. And then bringing him off the bench is kind of a weird thing to do. So it's going to be a tough thing for Doug Christie to decide.
It's a whole lot of, that's what a good coach does is they find the happy medium for all the players, and that's going to be a tough one to do right there.
Yeah, for sure.
I did like the game where he came out a couple minutes into it and they put Keon in, but I feel
that was a couple games ago, right?
Yeah, the runs really just start when Keon comes in because of his defense. He'll get a steal and then lay up on the other end, and now everybody's kind of picked up the intensity on defense.
Yep.
Everybody's kind of in the passing lanes, and now that's leading to open transition threes. That's honestly when they shoot the best is when they're in transition and they're shooting open threes. So, it just flows super well with Keon out there, and just the defense is a huge part of it. I would love to see him start, but like you said, it's going to be tough to kind of convince Malik. Maybe it won't. Maybe Doug will kind of get him to see, like, and you're still going to play a ton of minutes a game, because I think Keon played 30-something minutes last night still coming off the, or the game he came off the bench a couple games ago. So
as he should. He should be playing 30 minutes.
So, I mean, if you kind of just switch that role, then I think that's honestly perfect. God damn it. That's perfect when they get into the playoffs, too, because, you know, we're going to need that 15 to whatever off the bench. Like, Laravia, I'm honestly not worried about him. Dude, I'm so sorry. Laravia, I'm not worried about, because we saw last game, even in the loss, like, he went crazy. So I'm not worried about that jumper at all. And I think he'll be good, but even just putting Malik back there, I think would help a lot, too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I was just going to say Malik, same thing as Dev, with like Malik playing a ton of minutes regardless.
Yeah.
He's still going to score 16, 18. He'll be the best sixth man in the league if he comes off the bench again.
Yeah.
And the thing about that, I mean, there's guys who, like Jamal Crawford, Lou Will, like,
that's how they
were starting caliber players, but for a good team, they would excel a lot more as a sixth man because they do have their flaws.
Yeah, I mean that's what Malik has been doing over the past couple years, and then this year everything got weird. We put him in the starting lineup. It was working for a bit, and then we had to trade De'Aaron. So
I had him at the sixth man of the year award for the
He should have won it last year, man. If he won it last year, I feel like the Kings might have been more like down to keep him off the bench no matter what. Like kind of last year, I feel like there were games where, you know, even Kev got hurt last year. Herter got hurt, and then we still didn't put Malik in the starting lineup because we wanted him to win the sixth man so bad. Yeah. So we go with Keon, and then that unlocked the defense last year. So, well, if there's anything else, this game, Zach LaVine did have 36 points and 7 of 11 from 3. But, yeah.
I also want to bring up the catch-and-shoot threes were on fire. We need to keep doing that.
That's the offense we need.
The offense we need is a catch-and-shoot because, I mean, when we had Kevin Herter and before the whole trade deadline, everybody was dribbling around after they caught the ball, and then they shot a three. No matter how much, like I saw Keegan, he was covered a few times, and he caught the ball really quick, and then popped up, and he still drained it.
Yeah.
Zach LaVine, same thing. Jonas had a few nice passes when he was dribbling up on top and kicked it out. Immediately shot it, and they all sank it. Laravia had one that was like that. Scout in the garbage.
Yeah. Hey. That's a great point to bring up because Katie before the game started mentioned the Kings 3-point shooting numbers and how the percentage has gone way up since the De'Aaron trade, but the attempts have gone down. So the attempts we are taking are just catch and shoot. Like we're saying.
31 assists.
Yeah, and just a ton of assists and a lot of movement compared to a lot of ISO dribble threes like De'Aaron would take, and even Herter ended up taking, and that's just not their game, and that's not a high percentage shot. So taking less threes but more efficient ones is what has really, made this Kings team a better shooting team over the last couple weeks.
I feel like Zach does a really good job of catching it in his motion too. Like he's already going and bringing it up when he gets the ball, and I feel like that's kind of translated to everybody else. Like, and at least the confidence and the energy for sure. Like shout out to Keegan since All-Star break.
Shout out.
I'm pretty sure he's shooting 40% from three, somewhere above
Stepping up again.
And so, I mean, that's gonna be huge, especially in a game where we don't know how long we're gonna be out without Malik and Domas still. So. And I really needed him to step up in a game like that against Fox. So that was fun to watch.
Keegan wanted to, get some buckets over his guy De'Aaron.
I think De'Aaron said he gave him a little bit of trash talk.
He was I got it like right here. At the end of the game when Castle fouled out, Keegan was like, it was the first time De'Aaron ever heard him talking trash. He was just like, ran by him and said, get your rook, Fox. Get your rook.
That was after he had the and one on Castle. Yeah. He was staring him down. Like, whoa. Keegan showing a little emotion.
Shout out to DeMar baseline dunk too. Yeah. Like moments like that, and then with that crowd in that circumstance, in that kind of context, like the energy was just insane.
It was. We need Keegan though, man.
Need Keegan.
Yeah. Keegan's the X factor of this team.
Yeah.
19 points last night, 9 rebounds and 2 blocks. Just locking up on both ends like he's been doing all year. He's been so consistent on defense, but the offense is really the part that he needs to be more consistent with. And over the last, couple games, we've seen him be decisive. I said it last show, and he's still doing it. Last night, like we said, catch and shoot on the threes. There was a couple deep ones where, a couple years ago, those were shots Keegan was taking when the offense is, we're moving the ball, it's not flowing too well. Keegan can bail us out sometimes with those deep catch and shoot threes because he's 6'8", and it's tough to block that. And if he gets in the right rhythm, he's going to knock that down. And I feel like in the beginning of this year when we got DeMar, he wasn't taking those as much. He was deferring a lot to everyone else. And now it feels like everyone's, motivating Keegan to take those shots. It seems like every time Keegan touches the ball, like, he wants to get a shot up, and that's what we need him to be doing. Last night, first possession, he touched the ball. He got it up for 3 and knocked it down.
That's what I was going to say, too. Like, I feel like he's looking for it first now.
Which is
that's
he
always
should.
what you should have been doing.
Yeah.
So keep doing that.
He's got the Tatum build. We want to see some Tatum-esque plays.
He had a couple more drives to the basket last night, too.
Using those shoulders.
And then the end one on Castle, too. So, I mean, keep using that body, pause.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Jonas, we mentioned him a lot, but also another big night for him. 15, 12, 6 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block. 6 assists for Jonas. He's really playing that Domas role.
Literally.
Excellent.
A little behind the back pass.
Oh, that was
nasty.
That was sick. So he's got some flash to his game. Strongest guy in the league. Said it a lot.
Probably.
DeMar, 22 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists for DeMar.
7 assists. That's
7 assists.
Kind of wild.
That's not an every night type of thing with DeMar.
Nah.
7 assists.
I mean, he was drawing a lot of double teams when he crashed. When he crashed down, so he was able to kick it out. But I mean, that's what I feel like they were always just focusing on DeMar.
Yeah.
Just like get rid of the mid range, get rid of the mid range, and they didn't expect us to hit all those threes.
Yeah.
He didn't lie. He did carry the energy that they needed to have, and that kind of just went through everybody else.
Whoever we're playing.
Yeah,
Whoever.
he knew.
Yeah.
He knew.
Laravia, big part, 6 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. But Trey Lyles, another game off the bench, came in right away. The Kings were struggling early in the first quarter. It was, they were down a couple points, and then Trey Lyles came in, had a couple rebounds, hit a 3 right away, had 5 assists as well. So Trey Lyles made a huge impact once again, diving on the floor for loose balls, hustling all over the place. We need that from Trey, and I think he's going to keep his spot in the rotation even when Domas comes back.
Dude, whenever he comes in and hits that first 3, I just know he's going to have one of those hustle games where he's doing all the little things and hitting 3 like he is. So big shout out. Like we brought it up on the show a little bit ago, how he kind of wasn't where we wanted him to be, and I feel like ever since that, like Wednesday show, he's really just stepped up.
Yeah, he really has. He really has.
Yeah.
Well, Dev Carter, what did you guys see from him? 8 points, 14 minutes.
I was going to say quick shout out DC.
Hey, quick shout out.
Bro,
Dev
he
Carter.
came in quick.
Yep.
I was surprised by that.
He came in the middle of the second quarter.
Yeah.
Or the beginning of the second quarter.
No, he was looking nice. The 3 that the couple of 3s he threw up. And then he threw up another one and it completely missed. Like that was like
his shot is still a little iffy to me.
Still a little iffy. But
he had a dunk.
When he sigged,
Yeah.
dunks it. But when he gets his confidence up, it's a little worrisome because he throws up a lot of those 3s. But,
hey, he's getting the confidence in the G League, though.
Yeah.
I feel like he could be a guy like Reed Shepherd who went to the G League and really had some big games, and now playing with the Rockets, it seems like that confidence is really, came over to the NBA. And I'm not mad if Dev Carter spends most of the rest of the year in the G League, but next year I'm expecting a big jump from him.
Yeah.
A Derek White-esque jump.
I really hope
I
so.
still believe that he can be a Derek White type of player.
All he has to do is shave the head.
Yeah, I know. And Derek White didn't come into the league as someone who was, providing big impact right away. It didn't happen overnight for Derek White.
Yeah.
I didn't think Derek White was any good for a while. And then the Spurs really developed him into a really good role player.
I was about to say those last couple years on the Spurs and then Boston traded for him.
Yeah.
That's when he was really coming into his own.
Yeah. Do you think Dev Carter, I know you're a Laker fan, I don't know how much you've been watching Dev, but do you think he has Derek White type potential? Or is he more of a Davion type of player?
I thought of both, honestly.
Yeah.
Defensively, I know that's what his main trait was coming out of college.
Yeah.
His shot, I'm not as familiar with like his offensive production in college and like percentage wise.
He was averaging like 20, but it's a lot different than the NBA.
I think it's also he's a rookie, so the translation from being a good shooter in college might take a second.
True.
But I do think the mechanics need to be tweaked a bit because he does have a really high arc, and it's kind of really like Sasha's from last year.
And a low release point.
Yeah, which is really tough as a smaller guy.
Yeah.
It's slow too.
It's slow.
That's the biggest problem for me is
it's
take a little bit to get it up. I'm like, come on, bro, they're closing out.
No, they're closing out, right?
They're going to get you.
Hey, before we move on to the Spurs side of things, Scal came in, played 2 minutes, hit a 3, hit a little float or 2. But right when they checked in, all the bench guys, the camera went to De'Aaron on the bench sitting next to Wemby, and I read Wemby's lips. He said, "Hey, who's number 25?"
Really?
And De'Aaron
He don't
goes,
know ball, bro.
He said, "Oh, that's Labissiere." and then it cut off them. But then I noticed Wemby was like watching everything Scal did, because honestly, I don't know if Labissiere is French. Kind of sounds like it. That's probably probably what Wemby was thinking. He's like, oh,
Haitian.
And he kind of has that Wemby build.
Province. Yeah,
he kind of has the Wemby build. He came out there last night and looked like he was the tallest guy on the floor. Has a little handle to him. Can shoot the three now. So hey, Scal might be a little bright spot come next year.
He might not get a ton of minutes at the end of this year, but it's just great to see him back in the league.
Maybe
a lot of players get bounced from the league, and it's tough to get back.
Yeah,
and
it was over 2,000 days since he played his last NBA.
4 years.
Yeah.
So was he on a 10-day?
He got signed to a 10-day like the day after Domas went down.
Yeah, I think it's because they're evaluating him.
Hey,
and so
we still have to sign one more guy to an official contract, because we still haven't signed Isaac Jones.
That's insane.
I literally don't understand how they haven't signed Isaac Jones to an actual contract, but
is he on a two-way?
Yeah.
They have until the end of the month, and that'll make
this month.
Yeah, because then the prorated amount is a lot cheaper by the end of the month. That's why. So I think salary cap wise, if you guys are really close to a salary cap,
yeah,
and we don't want to pay that tax.
Yeah. So that might be the reason why we're waiting for so long.
Damn. We got the cat master.
But he is Haitian, but that's obviously a French province.
Okay, And Labissiere he was like, I literally read his lips. Who's number 25?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and De'Aaron was like, oh, that's Labissiere.
Bro got his ovation too when he stepped in. I feel like
got more claps than you.
They kind of waited for him. They checked in all the other bench players, and then
Labissiere came.
What's his name? Scott.
Scott Moe.
Yeah. He kind of waited and then set it up, and he is really good at what
he is.
He's been the all-star.
That was really cool to see.
He's been the all-star
MC. He's the 2K.
He's the 2K. Yeah. The whole NBA loves him. Well, we'll take a quick break, and then we'll be right back to jump into De'Aaron's performance against the Kings.
Yes, sir.
All right, we are back, and De'Aaron Fox last night only had 16 points, 8 assists, 6 of 17 from the field, and 0 for 6 from 3. Keon also got a big block on him early in the game, which was really fun to see. Keon kind of locked him up, man.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Welcome to Keon Island.
Yeah, welcome to Keon Island. De'Aaron hit the first shot, though, and he turned around, talked some shit to the Kings bench. I was a little worried after he hit that first shot.
For what, bro? I don't know any of those people. Besides Domas and Malik, bro.
True.
Why are you talking shit?
True. But I think I was scared De'Aaron was going to drop a 45 last night, and we were going to lose to the Spurs without Wemby. But, the Kings locked him up after that first shot, and he only went 6 of 17. So he got the shots up.
Not going to lie.
He wasn't knocking him down.
I did put money down on his over on the 23.
That's crazy.
But it was the happiest $10 lost ever, because I'm really glad he didn't go off against us.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, his guy, Stephon Castle, who De'Aaron loves so much, didn't want the Kings to get him. Sadly, I am happy with Zach LaVine, though. I'm honestly, I'd rather have Zach LaVine right now than Castle, but Castle did up 25 last night.
Yeah. And he fouled out, though.
He fouled out. Dunked on some people.
That was a little easy.
Yeah, he's going to be a star in this league. I'm telling you right now, he's going to end up being better than De'Aaron. Said it a while ago as my take of the week.
I see that. Just his size alone will help him out.
Yeah.
A whole lot. Because De'Aaron, fastest player in the league, one of the best not best ball handlers, but when he's dribbling down the court at that speed.
Yeah, he's got the handle.
He's pretty unstoppable right there. But, Stephon, if he goes under De'Aaron's wing and learns from him with the size that he has, he's going to be even more unstoppable. He can definitely do it.
Yeah, that size definitely.
I see a Drew Holiday times De'Aaron in one player with him. Yeah. So
and
that's a scary player to think about.
He's younger, and then he's gonna grow into that. He's a little bit inconsistent with the 3-point shooting right now, but I think last night he shot well. But I think it's just because the length is just what's gonna help him. Because De'Aaron, it's what's he gonna do when the speed goes? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of one of the first things as an athlete that goes. And not trying to go there or nothing, but Castle just being like a guy like KD. He's literally, you don't got to do much but turn around and shoot over you because he's that much bigger than you. So I feel like he could play for a lot more years too.
Yeah. That's a good point. When the speed leaves De'Aaron, what will his game become? I do think he's developed that mid-range shot very well, and his playmaking is good. But yeah, that's a good point to bring up. How confident are you in Stephon Castle being a star?
He's good.
Yeah, he's
good,
nice.
He's nice.
Yeah, he's nice.
pretty confident. I mean, him and Wemby were already set to be that duo in San Antonio, and I don't think Fox is going to alter that at all.
Yeah.
I think he will be probably the second option for next year, but Castle will quickly take that by probably end of next season or following. Castle's just, his pace is just ridiculous when he plays. He plays at his own pace, and he's a freak athlete too. And just every time he goes to the basket and goes and does a 2-footed hop step, it's a dunk.
Yeah.
Like that crazy dunk he did against Atlanta, where he hop stepped and just dunked over, I think, Larry Nance Jr. or something. I was just like, this guy's ridiculous.
Yeah, he plays off 2 feet really well, which is something big for a guard. Someone else that does that is Peyton Pritchard. You know, he's not athletic like Castle, but he's always off 2 feet, and he always has his balance under him, so that's really important.
The one note, though, is I don't understand why San Antonio isn't just benching Chris Paul at this point.
That's what I was thinking.
Why is Castle not getting as many minutes as possible?
Yeah, that's kind of the Spurs way, though.
I get
They've
that,
kind of always
but
done that.
you suck. You're not winning anything. Why would you not just let Vassell and Castle just do whatever you want? Let the young guys play.
Yeah.
Fox should have his surgery. They should be trying to get the best pick possible. And now they're 13th, sure, but still they're not too far away from that 10th spot. Like, it's still a semi-realistic
that gives
option.
you a chance to raise up in the lottery as well. So yeah,
especially with this draft. I mean, maybe Cooper Flag stays. There's debates of that now, apparently.
I don't believe that.
I don't think he'll stay. He's a unanimous number one, in my opinion. I like Dylan Harper, but he's, it's him.
Yeah.
And the ability to maybe get him and pair him with Wemby,
yeah.
You can't really.
That would be crazy. Well,
so with the De'Aaron news on his surgery, when they're in LA, I think it's in like a week or something like that.
Yeah.
He's meeting up with the doctors, and he said that the surgery might happen when they're in LA, or it might not happen in LA. So he might be shut down pretty soon. Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Wouldn't be surprised to see him shut down soon. But I am happy that he played this Kings game, though, because I thought for a while he was going to duck some smoke. Even though there wasn't, there was a little smoke, but not as much as I kind of thought. I didn't really expect Demar and all those guys to be dapping him up like that, but I'm happy to see they did that.
I didn't really. The only people I heard or like saw any beef between it might have been was Domas, and then obviously Malik didn't really talk to him, but they're not gonna not dap up that would be. Like Domas is really the only one where I was just like, that's questionable. Mm-hmm. Everybody else, I didn't see any like foul. Just like in the
but him and Malik were like supposed to be best friends.
Yeah,
and everyone thought they were, but I guess they're not. And
stuff changes.
And Malik said they haven't talked since then. So yesterday was kind of their first time talking, and then. Also, a weird thing we saw was a video of Malik talking to De'Aaron's wife. I don't think anything bad came.
I saw some smiles.
I think people were making
it
worse than it actually was. I don't think anything bad was coming out of that.
Yeah, I don't think it was that bad. Obviously, media's going to do anything they can to try and twist whatever. But, that's media. We're used to it.
Yeah.
He's probably just asking her why he invited him to dinner with Keegan and Fox.
Probably something like that. Something little. But before we move on to the Sabonis news, how do we feel about this Jeremy Lamb making some sort of decisions with the Kings? He's dating Vivek's daughter. So it's some weird stuff coming out.
So, decisions, I feel like that, I don't think it's really decisions, but influences for sure. Yeah.
I don't even think it's so much Jeremy Lamb. It probably was a joke, but I think he's definitely trying to groom his daughter for the role.
You're fine. Yeah.
For the role.
I get what you mean.
She was just the GM, stepped down to go back to school or whatever.
Yeah.
But another thing that got brought up in that was it kind of like Monty didn't want to fire Mike at that point, and so I think they said that greenlit the decision while he was on vacation in Cabo. That's what Carmichael Davis said. I ain't here to speculate, but
about trading De'Aaron?
Yeah.
Oh
no, about firing Mike Brown.
Okay.
And so
he was on vacation in Cabo in the middle of the year? That's wild.
We've known he's kind of been known to get involved in meddle in the basketball operations side, and that just, it irks me so much because we saw what happened the one year he didn't, and it was 3 years ago, when he hired a GM and he hired a coach, and he said, all right, I'm going to step back and let you do your thing, and he did, and then I feel like he kind of got more involved in it, last year and stuff like that. But I seen what happened that one year where he kind of took a step back and let the guys he hired to do the job. I feel like we saw what happened. So I
Yeah.
I kind of believe it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Domas though.
Domas.
Should we be scared about Domantas Sabonis' future in Sacramento? I'm a little worried. To
I'm a
be
little
completely
worried.
honest.
I'm not super worried. I'm a little worried.
Yeah, I mean, Sam Amick of The Athletic wrote an article yesterday saying Sacramento Kings star center Domantas Sabonis is expected to seek clarity about the organization's plan at the end of this season.
So, I mean, seek clarity. I feel like he has his feet kind of cemented here already. Like, I mean, I know he loves his life up in Napa with his wife and his family out there.
Yeah.
So him personally, as a player and just a person, I don't think he wants to leave again, like a city that.
But the argument is, where's this team going? And Domantas Sabonis is one of the best centers in the league, and he's never been in a big playoff game outside of the first round.
Well, yeah. So, I mean.
So he deserves to be in a winning situation, and I hope it's here.
Yeah, no, I think that's what he wants to do. I hope he comes to the team and goes, hey, if you guys are rolling with me, I want to roll with you. Like, I feel like this will become Domas's team, like, this offseason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there was a quote that says, what's the vision here? It feels like it could be headed towards chaos. And that's a league source close to a Kings core player. Not sure who the core player
We're
is.
already in chaos.
We already
man.
in chaos.
I mean, dude, if Domas doesn't want to stay in Sacramento, what the hell are we going to do?
I mean, it's
Back
gonna
down the
stop.
lottery.
Yeah, yeah.
We're going to have to get rid of DeMar, get rid of Zach,
We're going to have to get rid of everybody.
get rid of everyone, and just,
Rebuild.
and that does not sound fun for another 17 years. So I'm a little worried about this Domas thing, honestly.
Yeah, a little bit. I think it kind of just comes more for me from the front office side. He probably wants to know if they're going to roll with Monty, if they're going to roll with Doug. I think they make the playoffs. He'll probably be the coach next year,
Yeah.
and so I think he kind of just wants to know that. And he likes Doug, and I don't think if they tell him he's going to be the coach, he's going to be like, damn, trade me. I think they have a good relationship. Obviously, like, he didn't want Mike Brown. I feel like he's been kind of vibing great with Doug Christie. So, but I am scared just because of the track record, you know?
Yeah. Well, the question is, like, where do we go? Because there's a ceiling on this team, and we all know it. With De'Aaron, we had a little more hope. I mean, there still was a ceiling, but we still had hope De'Aaron could elevate his game more and more. And Zach LaVine's at the peak of his game.
Yeah.
He's a great player, one of the best two guards in the league. But still, I am a little worried about the true ceiling of this team and what is going to happen in the next 3-4 years.
Either the whole thing's going to be blown up. There's two possibilities, and it's blown up, or we are still in the 5th, 6th seed for playoffs with Domas.
Hey, I'd be happy with 5th, 6th seed.
I would be fine with that.
But we're 9th right now.
No, I mean, you saying like the next few years. Yeah.
But the West is only getting better.
only
Wemby's
getting
coming
better.
back.
Yeah.
The Suns, who knows what they're going to do. I shouldn't have mentioned them. The Pelicans, though, is someone I'm more worried about
Yeah.
with Zion,
For sure.
Trey Murphy developing into a star. Timberwolves are obviously going to be better.
Trailblazers are good.
The Mavericks next year are going to be healthy. Even the Trailblazers
Yeah.
have a promising
They have
young
a promising
core.
young team.
And all those guys at the top are going to stay at the top. So I don't really know where the Kings fit in. And I'm just a little...
They got to get rid of the
Little
Eastern
worried.
Western Conference for us.
Yeah.
Just for the Kings.
Hey, that would help so much. Because if we were in the East, I feel like we would be completely fine with where this team's going.
If you're in the
future.
East, wouldn't you be like 6th seed right
Yeah,
now?
we'd be the 6th seed.
6th or 7th?
So it changes a lot.
I think
the West is tough.
playoffs, if they get there this year, that's a win. To me, you fired your coach, you trade your best player. If you still make the actual playoffs, whether you get the 6 or you get there through the play-in, then, like, to me, that's a win. And hopefully you match up with somebody that, you know, you give them a good series, potentially maybe beat them. I don't know. Just depends on the matchup, right? But to me, that's a win, and then you kind of got to go from there. They got some more moves to make for sure. I mean, and we don't know what's going to happen with Laravia, too. I'm hoping he's kind of loving his time here at the end of the year, and it's kind of like, I want to be here, like kind of what Malik did. So, but
It
yeah,
seems like he is.
We just don't
Yeah.
have the money for him.
I know.
Like, we
because
can only give him
that's
$5
yeah, that's
million.
what I'm
Only give
saying.
him
So
$5
hopefully,
mil.
kind of. Hey, bro, go get your endorsement deals right now. And then take that $5 million, bro.
Please, because yesterday Keegan hit a 3.
Yeah,
it shows,
and he said,
yeah, it shows Laravia's the only one on the bench yelling, standing up, waving his towel, yelling Murray. So it's like, damn, he already loves it here in Sac, and I pray that he takes the pay cut and stays with
Me
us.
too.
Or, I mean, hopefully, if Domas is happy and, like, the talks are good in the offseason, maybe he takes a small little pay cut, or LaVine takes a pay cut.
I mean, we won't have to pay those guys for a while.
Can you
though.
do that in the NBA? Like
Yeah.
restructure contracts?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
LeBron did,
Can't.
right?
He opted out of his contract as a player option
yeah.
and said he'd take less money.
Okay.
Because he wanted Valanciunas.
Oh, that's
You know
how
that's
did it.
why LeBron
He
took a pay
did.
cut.
Well,
Because he
He
wanted
was going to
Valanciunas.
take a bigger pay cut, but he
How's it
took
feel,
he took
LeBron?
enough to be right under the second apron, so they weren't
Yeah.
stuck in purgatory
Yeah.
like the Suns.
He was begging the Lakers to get Valanciunas for a while. So
He was begging him to get Clay. Well, now he's Luka, so
LeBron,
I mean,
not everybody
can he
can be
really
the king.
complain?
yeah.
Sorry.
But
Kinda
you
the
can't
right
like
move.
go up to somebody in the offseason and be like, take a
It's
little
not,
bit of
it's not,
that.
it's not like
Can't do
football,
that.
yeah.
You can do that in football?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought
Well,
so.
because they convert it to signing bonus, so
Yeah.
it's like they just pay
Yeah.
the person
That
in
makes
cash.
sense.
Damn.
Well, Kings are 9th in the West, 33-29 record, a game and a half back of the 6th seed. Some games coming up are really important. We play the Clippers tomorrow in LA, and then the Knicks come to Sac on Monday. Then we go to Golden State Thursday, and then we play in Phoenix on Friday.
Jesus, bro.
Record coming up for these next 4 games.
Why they gotta all be back to backs, bro?
I know, we play
hate them.
Sunday, Monday, and then we play Thursday, Friday. So 2 sets of back-to-backs.
And they're all traveling days, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all
Like, you
traveling
have to
days
travel in
because we
between
go
each one.
home and then we go back to Golden State. I mean, that's not really too much of a travel.
Well,
but
yeah, but
that 2-hour drive
I
doesn't
mean,
feel that bad.
LA to Sacramento to SF.
Well, they'll
and then
fly to
Phoenix.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna say
Hey, the Knicks don't have Jalen Brunson.
2 and
He's out
2.
Really? He's out?
Jalen Brunson's out 2 weeks. The Clippers,
Oh, yeah, you got
Harden did just drop 50, but they
I'm gonna
have been
say
losing some
2 and
games.
Yeah.
2.
2-2.
Yeah.
That's the most unbiased I think you've been on a prediction.
Because I don't think
this
we're
year.
gonna beat the Warriors. Not gonna lie.
What?
Yeah.
I say 3-1.
I want to say 3
Who are
and
we
1.
losing to? Who are the Kings losing to? I know you're not.
Nah, 3 and 1.
They played what? Warriors, Suns, Clippers, and who else? again?
Knicks without Brunson.
Probably Warriors.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah,
don't think
that's not
I just think Phoenix is such a chaotic shit show over there
Yeah.
that like
We'll
you
win
should.
that
Their
game.
defense is bad.
Yeah.
It's like probably I think it's like one of the absolute worst in the league
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I think the Clippers and the
Warriors.
Knicks game should be wins. The Clippers don't move me at all.
Yeah.
I mean,
You think the Kings are a better team than the Clippers right now?
yes.
Even with Kawhi healthy?
I really want you guys that 7th
Hey,
seed,
let's
man.
go. Now I know why. Now I know why, because he wants the
I
Lakers
really
to
just
play the Kings.
want to go to a playoff game here.
Oh, that would be insane.
That'd
Yeah.
be pretty
The
insane.
atmosphere might be crazier than the Warrior series if the Lakers do end
Oh,
up
yeah.
playing the
Well,
Kings.
there's gonna be the same thing. It's gonna be hell Lakers
Should
fans
be
in there,
hella
bro.
Lakers
Dude,
fans,
we
dude.
the
2
Kings
years
fans are going
ago.
to show out.
I mean,
They
to
were-
be fair,
Yeah, but
you guys have a
there's
good
Luka
team.
and LeBron.
Yeah.
Levine's great. DeRozan's great. Sabonis is great.
Hey, AR don't want to see Levine
But
in a playoff series.
But Luka and LeBron.
That's two white
Luka
going
and
at each
LeBron.
other, bro.
We don't want to see Luca
We
or
don't wanna
LeBron
see
in a
either.
playoff series. That's just crazy. The number one defense since
it doesn't
the
make
trade.
sense to
Yeah.
me. I'm baffled
That
every
doesn't
time.
make sense at all.
Baffled.
Uh,
JJ.
I'm gonna change it to 3 and 1. I was gonna say lose to the Warriors and Knicks, just because I mean Warriors are one of the hotter teams in the NBA
They
right
are.
now.
Yeah.
But Brunson is
But
out.
then, well,
Also,
yeah,
look at the
thinking about
Warriors
Brunson
and
out.
who they've played. They have not played anybody notable. That's
Uh-oh.
the thing. They played an injured Mavs twice, and they lost once to them, actually. Right. Wait, no, that was you guys. My bad.
That was.
They almost lost
Wait.
to the Nets the other day. They lost 2 games, and I think it was one against an actual team. I forgot who it was. That slipped my mind.
Well, the
I'm
Warriors
not
did
scared
beat the
of
Nets.
the Warriors,
Yeah.
bro.
But they've
You're not?
played.
no.
Dude, we got blown out by them.
The first game we got Zach LaVine, all them dudes.
That was first game for most of them.
You guys have been clicking a lot better, and your defense has been like
The
4th
defense
ranked
is
Yeah.
top
since
5 in the
All-Star
league.
break.
Now
since then.
we're locked in.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
believe it when I see it, because every time we play the Warriors, it's a new game.
Usually,
Right.
I mean, it is,
It's
but
a-
We blew them out earlier in
Every
the year
single
without
game.
De'Aaron, without Levine.
Every
Now-
time we play the Warriors, it's always a new game. So I'm not it's hard to say
I'm
who's
throwing
going.
I'm
that-
confident
I'm
in
throwing
what
the
we can
last
do
game
to
out.
guard Steph Curry.
I'm throwing that last game out. I do not care about that last game, bro. Like, the offense looked so terrible, and it has not looked like that since that game. to
Yeah,
me.
that's true.
We do need to win that. fucking obviously.
And
need to
then we
win
get the
that.
tiebreaker
And then
if
that's
we
the
do that.
tiebreaker if we win that. That's what I was going to say. Like, that would be huge. We come down to the end of
Yeah,
of
the
end of the
playoff
season.
implications are going to be huge
Yeah.
if you win that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it's a lock, but I'm not that scared of the Warriors.
Yeah.
Bro. I feel the same I have felt all year. They got Curry, now they got Jimmy. You know, it's gonna be tough. Any
gonna
team
be
you
tough,
play in the
man.
NBA is gonna be tough, bro. So just come out and take care of business, gang.
Yeah.
4-0.
We need to win these games against these teams that are struggling and that are injured. Definitely a must win against the Clippers and the Knicks and the Suns. That Warriors one, like you guys said, could be the toughest one in the next 4.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a chance.
Then we
but-
got a long homestand.
Yeah, then we come home and we play some really good teams. So
Yeah.
that's going to be interesting. But the Lakers have won 8 in a row. We'll give Jackson the floor. Last game, the Lakers played. They beat the Knicks in overtime. Come back late in the game. What did you see out there from your Lake show?
Just a championship level team.
Ooh,
It's
on that level.
It's
Happy birthday, LeBron.
teams. Shout out
40th.
Teams who win games where they shoot terribly, where their third option is shot. I think Reeves was like 2 for 15, 12 or something. He couldn't hit a single shot to save his life.
Damn.
Clutch ass 3 in the overtime. Though.
Yeah.
That's it. But with nobody able to hit a single shot in the entire game for us, basically, they still won.
Mhm.
You know, Gabe Vincent, huge shout out to him. 3 straight threes,
He's gonna
or
shout
3
him out.
threes in the fourth quarter with under 6:30 left, and they're down 9 or
Yeah.
down 8. He's turned the entire season around.
Yeah.
And I really am looking at him as like a KCP, Derek Fisher type of role
Damn.
player, where he's a guard who will make big time shots when, you know, in crucial moments.
So you want Gabe Vincent in there when the game matters the most?
His defense is great. I'm not saying every time. I think we have a lot of guys that could be situational.
Yeah.
Like even last game, JJ said that Hayes was supposed to be pulled for Vincent, but Hayes was just playing phenomenally, so they kept him in. And I think just all our role players have been elevated because of Luka and because of the tandem with LeBron now.
Yeah.
And it's just unlocked so much more.
Yeah, 8 in a row for the Lakers, man. They
And
played
it's
Boston
not,
too. No?
it's not easy games either. Like
Yeah.
they beat the Clippers back to back. You know, they beat Denver in one of those games.
Yeah.
They beat New York. You know, like
Mhm.
it's not like some slouch teams. They've won 10 in a row against above 500 teams.
Damn.
They've,
Very impressive.
you know, since January I think 13th, they were 20-17. They are 40-21 now. That's 20-4. That is the best record in the league in that time.
Best record in the league in the
Considering
last...
the Cavs and Thunder also are 50 plus wins and like 11-10 losses each.
Yeah, it's crazy what the Lakers are doing. Luka had 32, 7 rebounds, 12 assists. Looks like he's
Yeah.
finding his shot out there.
His 3-point shot has been great. It's a crazy experience when he hits. It feels like, you know, it's like 8 points when he hits a step
Yeah.
back, especially late in the game.
Mhm.
That first 3, that, you know, the first 5 points he had in that overtime, you know, step back or fade away
On
over
Cat.
Cat,
Oh.
and then the pull up 3. I don't, you know, that experience, that feeling, it's like the same exact one I felt when I watched Kobe as a kid.
Damn.
So that like the
That's
same
high praise.
demeanor,
It's not ridiculous
the,
to say.
It's
the
not.
same demeanor that he has when he plays, like he's an asshole.
He's an
to
asshole.
people,
Yeah.
and he just talks. But then he also has that switch. He flips. He's like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm up. He's like, he's one of the only players that gets progressively better the angrier he gets.
Yeah. And, you know, JJ's the perfect coach for a guy like that.
Exactly.
Because JJ has that in him. as
JJ's
well.
an asshole too.
He's an asshole too. But they're also winners, and that's all they want to do.
Exactly.
So,
Especially with a guy like LeBron. I mean, these next few years with Luka, it's really
Oh, yeah.
gonna just like
I was going to ask.
push him into an entire another like level.
Yeah.
I feel like
yeah.
just because LeBron, like he'll notice like his, you know, his work ethic outside of it too.
Mhm.
It's just all that stuff playing with him. It's just, this is an insane timeline to be in right now.
Crazy.
He's playing with his son, and then the second, basically a carbon copy of him minus the athleticism.
Yeah. It's
Press
insane.
Stephen A. Smith of the game. Keep my son's name out your mouth.
Hey.
He's also white.
Hey. Yeah.
No, I was going to ask though.
Put on for us.
How much longer do you think Luka adds to LeBron's career?
Ooh. That's a good question.
I mean, he's played 22 years, right?
Yeah.
I think he's 100% playing next year. I think he really wants to see what they do in the offseason.
Mm.
And just, he's never going to not be good, is what I feel like.
Hey,
Like,
he could have
realistically, he
come
could
down.
play till he's 45.
Yeah.
It's come down to
I
that.
think
by
he
now.
will play to maybe 24 seasons. So at least, I think it extends it at least another season
Yeah.
from what he was planning to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think with that extra season, that's also when Bryce is drafted. So that would be cool to have two sons in the
Yeah,
league.
why
That
would
would
you not wait till Bryce gets
Exactly.
That would be
drafted?
so cool.
Because I think Bryce is a
And
senior.
you got to
now.
draft him if you're the Lakers.
I think he's committed to Arizona. I think.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So he should be. It should be like basically 2 more years. I'd
Will
imagine.
he be one and done though?
Bryce?
They didn't. That was
He
my
probably
question.
will because Bronny was one and done and he barely played.
You could do that.
Yeah, but Bronny was also a projected lottery.
True.
Before that, so
Yeah.
everybody had him in there because of potential.
Yeah.
So whoever says he's not good, it's stupid.
Stupid.
I think also, I don't know, for some reason I remember Bryce was kind of a better player than Bronny.
I kind of thought that
Bronny.
back in the day.
So both
Like-
of them in high school, when you watch them, they were both like very complete or very like they let the game come to them. They
Mhm.
were never assertive aggressively.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is, I mean, same thing with LeBron. He's never really been a player. He just always has just been great at every aspect of
Yeah.
the game. So he just does it. But with like Bryce, he's a better shooter and he's like 6'9", I think. So that's also going to be a huge factor.
Yeah.
Bronny's
like
6'2",
6'2",
6'3", which is why I always have the comparison of his peak could probably be Drew Holiday level. More so Celtics Drew Holiday.
I'd be so
But-
mad. I'd be so mad if I was
yeah,
Bronny, bro.
Davion,
Yeah.
I'd be more than happy with that. I
Yeah.
think he might crack the rotation next year
Yeah.
because he's been amazing in the G League.
Yeah,
He's
it's been
averaging
amazing.
like 24 or 5 a game, shooting
Damn.
42%
Yeah,
from
he been
three.
cooking. I saw that.
Shout
the
out,
other
bro.
day, yeah.
He's getting chase downs, dunking on people. I'm just
Yeah.
like, damn, bro.
Yeah, that's fun to watch. Shout out South Bay Lakers.
I'd be so mad,
So you
bro.
think like a year or two? Like on,
I think another year or two. Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, I also feel like it will also set up for some big free agents to be, available.
Mhm.
And
People are
Tyler
gonna want it.
knows, Devin knows. All growing up, I was always like, Lakers are gonna get this guy. They're
Oh
gonna get
my
this
god,
guy.
Dude.
That's
Every
every
fucking
Lakers fan.
offseason.
But it's
Every
literally,
offseason.
it's literally valid because the motherfuckers just traded
And
Luka
now they
to
did
Luka.
it.
Because we did get LeBron.
And now you
we
guys
did get
did it.
AD. We did get
Bro,
Luka.
you were literally
Oh,
telling us for like
Lord.
3 years before LeBron went to LA.
Yeah.
LeBron
Get
was going
Bron.
to
And
LA.
we were like, bro, shut
I'm like,
up,
no,
bro.
what are you
We were like, yeah, right.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be this offseason is going to be huge. I think because this year is really just a soft rebuild.
Yeah.
They're just going to retool. I think they're going to keep a lot of the core guys, depending what they do with their mid-league exception. If they go and get a guy like Nikola Jokić, which is my dream
Jesus.
shooting guard option,
Yeah, that would be perfect. What the hell?
I think he'll still come off the bench because Reeves is ridiculous and he's going to start.
You need a center.
So that's where that comes in.
Yeah.
We don't need somebody elite. Our defense is elite.
Yeah.
So, and also, our rebounds per game have gone up each month. So in March and February, they've been the highest they've been all season.
Hey, Braun is rebounding the hell out of that ball.
Braun, the
he
thing
had like
about
18
this team,
rebounds the other
exactly.
night.
The thing about this team is they have so many wings who rebound well. You really don't need a center to do that aspect. It's more so the shot blocking, right?
Yeah.
But even a guy like Jackson Hayes is holding his own, and it's kind of ridiculous to me. And also, Braun, just because of Luka being there, he doesn't have the ball in his hands more. He's an off-ball player now.
And he's
And his
excelling
usage is
in
like
that.
8. I think it's like he has the ball. He's a primary player like 18% of the game or something like that.
Yeah.
And it used to be like 30, 32. And that's, it's a big chunk of the game.
It's taking
But-
a lot of pressure off him for sure.
Yeah, and that's why defensively he looks like he's been an all defensive level player all season. I'm not going to lie.
LeBron?
More than like 2/3 of the season. he has been.
Hey, I like that.
He's still getting chased down blocks like he's 26, dude.
Yeah.
It's kind of ridiculous.
That's the one on Chris Dunn the other night.
Yeah. We can debate if it was goaltending, but
Hey.
I think he got there.
That's a block.
It was the same. It was very similar to like.
Hey.
2017.
I was crying that was goaltending. That one day.
James.
I was crying that was goaltending. All right.
So as I was saying about needing a center, defense is great regardless, and I think we retain at least, depending on what we do with our mid league. Like if we get Alexander Walker, like I said, or if we go and get a guy like Quentin Grimes, I want one of those two guys so bad. Grimes is so disgusting.
That would fit perfectly.
The Mavs are just in hell with
Yeah.
what they did. Mark Cuban built the franchise over
Oh my
15,
gosh,
25
dude.
years.
Hey, at
something
least
like
they
that
have
he was
Max
there.
Christie.
Shout out Max Christie.
I mean, they'll be all right next year, but
I mean,
I saw something earlier, and I thought it was hella funny. They said he looked like Baljeet from
I
Phineas and
did
Ferb.
see that.
You do a little bit.
Hey, I thought you were like Kobe though. What's up?
A mix of both,
Yeah.
probably.
True
Doug's
that.
done.
I thought he was Doug's son.
Dude, yeah,
Dude,
I
thought that
did
for
too.
the longest
I did
time.
too.
My dad still says it, and I just don't correct him. He's like, "Damn, we're playing Doug's son tonight." I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
we are."
It seems like
I
he
think
would be though.
There
Maybe
was
we
a
can find out from this
story
episode.
where one of his
It's like,
teammates
gosh.
asked him that.
Oh,
He's
Clay.
like, Yeah, Clay asked him. Yeah.
Clay thought he was for
And
the
then
whole
he was like,
time.
"No, I'm not."
No.
Funny as shit.
They were probably playing against the Kings, and Clay was like, "Oh, we're playing against your dad
I
tonight."
think it was,
He's
yeah.
like, "Nah, that's not my dad."
It was the last time
I
he
don't
just
even know
lost.
that.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he said that. Yeah.
But center wise, there's options, and I really think the realistic one is Claxton, because I think he's just a better version of what Hayes is, and a better shot blocker too.
Yeah.
And Hayes, I mean Claxton, we don't really know what he's actually going to be because he's been on the Nets for his whole career, right?
He was good
He
when
was-
they had the good Nets team.
Exactly.
With
So
KD
that's
and
why
all that.
when you look at his production now, he's still blocking shots, he's still doing some things, but he's not doing it consistently enough. But
Yeah.
that's also, it's really hard to play consistent when your team sucks.
Exactly. Yeah, we said that
Finishing
earlier with
it.
Jonas and Kuzma and all that.
Exactly,
It's
yeah.
like, yeah, you can't really give it your all every night.
If you can get him, because also his contract is descending, so it's going to be a lot. This year it's 28 mil. Next year it's going to be like 20. So the cap for it, or like the trade value for it, can be a lot less.
Yeah.
And I really think we have Kleba we have like 42 million expiring next year.
Oh, damn.
So like,
They're in
are
a
we
good
use
spot.
it all? No. The only I think we do really need, because we're going to be off a ton of cap 2026,
Mhm.
and that's also when Jokic is a free agent.
Bro.
gonna kill myself.
Stop. Well, let's.
They wanted to team up somewhere.
Oh
This
my
is
god!
insane.
If that
Why would you
happens,
choose
dude,
Denver instead of? I'm just kidding.
Bro.
If that
I mean,
happens,
it would be.
you're kidding, but you're not.
I'm kidding,
You're
but
not.
yeah, exactly. I really
back
think
to
it's going
middle
to
school
be.
days.
I really don't know who they're going to pair up with Luka when LeBron's done.
Yeah.
But I really think it will be somebody that's just going to come out of left field because.
Luka came out.
Bro,
of
Yeah, exactly.
Jokic is going to go to the fucking Lakers.
I always
gonna go to the Lakers.
I
I'm
always
just
thought
letting you know
Jokic and
now it's
Luka
going
would
to be
team up.
Jokic or Wemby.
Oh my god!
Wemby's not leaving the Spurs.
Then
No
it's going to
way.
be a foreign, just the best foreign duo ever, and
no
we're
way
going to win like
Wemby leaves the
Wemby's
Spurs.
Wemby's set up. He gonna have Pop for one more year, and then once Steve
Pop's
Kerr.
going to come back.
He
You
might
don't
be
think he's
done.
No, I
You
think
think he's gonna retire next year?
I think
He'll probably have
came out
that.
and
He'll
said
probably have
something
one more
about it.
game.
He
Did he?
doesn't know for sure.
I don't know.
It's uncertain.
He hasn't decided.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think Steve Kerr is getting that job once he's done with the Warriors job. In my opinion, like, I think he's getting.
I think they'll go with one
What
of the assistants because
that Spurs head coach
Oh, Steve's gonna retire when Steph
with the
does.
Warriors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if he
That's
wants
what
to
I'm
keep
thinking.
coaching, I literally think they will just hand him that
Hey,
job.
Mitch
Yeah.
Johnson is actually a good coach. Who they have right now?
Yeah.
That guy.
I seen him looking over there.
Yeah, he'd be doing his thing.
You know,
especially Pop's coaching staff has always been good.
Yeah.
There's so many
Yeah.
guys in the league
Came
from that.
out of the Spurs, yeah.
I think the Jazz head coach is from there
Will
too.
Hardy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Will Hardy.
Steve
So like
Kerr,
you know,
Mike Brown.
he's a good coach.
I was
Yeah.
literally just
Mike
about to say
Brown,
like all
exactly.
this.
Mike
Like,
Brown. Yeah.
There's a lot of. I mean,
I think Mike Brown goes to San Antonio after next. I think Mike Brown will
If-
be recruited.
they'll
No
either
way.
keep their assistant or
Mike Brown
or
won't
Mike,
get another job. In
I think
NBA.
Mike Brown
don't
will
think
go
so?
on as
I don't think
assistant,
so.
like with happened with Frank Vogel. He
He'll
had a
probably
shot
be
these
more of an
places,
assistant.
but he went
Yeah.
more as an
I
assistant
think
because he's
he can-
defensive
I-
focused.
I think De'Aaron
Fox
Reference-
might, yeah. Fox might be
De'Aaron-
like,
Oh shit!
Yeah,
That's actually a great point.
Yeah.
That's actually
that's
a great
a
point.
factor.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's actually a good point.
I feel like De'Aaron might recruit Mike to go to San Antonio.
and then he's got his setup with defensive players.
And
that
then,
he
Yeah.
needs.
and then he's not going
Yeah.
to play Stephon Castle, their best
Yeah.
perimeter
Dude.
defender. No, I'm kidding.
They're gonna
He
trade him.
definitely would. Definitely would. Yeah, well, we should move on to Jokic game last night. Beat the Suns in overtime.
Damn.
The
History.
first 30-20-20 game of all time,
He's
and
really
it looked
him.
so easy for him. It just
Yeah,
all of his assists are just so easily like he's just in the post, double teamed, and then he'll kick it to the guy cutting. Westbrook cutting under the basket. Christian Braun for three. Aaron Gordon had 27 points last night. Almost all of them were off Jokic assists.
Four threes in the first quarter, I think.
Yeah, for Aaron Gordon, all off Jokic assists. And then 21 rebounds, he does that every night. 30 points, he does that every night. So, man, Jokic is just insane.
And-
it's just so easy
I feel
for
like
him.
he puts up 30, 20, 20 every night. But
Yeah.
this is the first time.
Yeah.
So you say that like you're saying like it's so easy for him, but then what I say is like he's doing it so easy, but he's the most unathletic person
Yeah.
of all time.
He's
Then
just the
again,
smartest.
You look
It's
at the
insane.
top two players in the league.
Luka?
They're both unathletic and white.
Yeah.
They're foreign. They just be doing what they want out
For
there.
real.
They're just different. They're really different. The NBA's going in a good place though. We
Yeah.
enjoy basketball
I
here.
really
on this
love
channel.
that how
Yes, sir.
like
Except for Lakers and
basketball
Warriors.
has expanded
Worldwide.
Worldwide,
Yeah.
yeah. Because we're seeing. I mean, to look at the top 5 players in the league. Outside of
French.
Braun at 5,
Giannis.
there's Giannis. There's Shea, he's Canadian.
Damn.
There's and then Luka. And
They're
Jokic.
all-
We might
Not
be
from
cooked
America.
next Olympics.
Yeah,
Bro.
Wemby's gonna be
Oh,
in there
yeah.
too.
He's definitely in there. So, Yeah, USA might be cooked to make the Olympics in LA.
The thing is, like,
Curry play again.
We
obviously,
still have Tatum. We still have all.
obviously, all those players are really good, but they're all spread out.
Just don't let Steve
It's
Kerr
not like
coach.
they're all
True.
playing.
They're not from the
Team,
same.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, more games last night. The Clippers beat the Knicks without Jalen Brunson, so that was a bad game for a Kings fan to see.
Yeah.
We need the Clippers to lose every game, but hey, tomorrow we're gonna take it into our own hands and we're gonna beat the Clippers.
I think it'll be a good game.
Yeah.
Is that the game he got hurt, or was it the game
He
he,
got-
just didn't play
no,
that
he didn't
game?
play that
Okay.
game, yeah.
It was against the Lakers. Okay.
Yeah.
And against the Lakers, he still had 39 points and 10 assists.
Yeah, he got hurt like fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Now. Yeah.
Don't
So-
fuck with my boy JB. He top 5.
Yeah, I wrote that down. I was like, JB might be top 5.
Top 5.
Hey,
Top 5 what?
Potentially top 3.
Hey, top five what?
Point guard.
Just top
Point
5.
guard, just
He's
point
top 5. Top 5 what? He just top 5.
shout out Tatum.
That's JB.
I was going to say potentially 4 or 3.
Yeah,
Top
dude.
3 point guard in the league.
He is
Outside of
that guy.
Shea and Steph,
Shea and-
I mean,
There's not really a lot of guys
You
can
could,
put.
I mean, this year probably JB, but
Yeah.
Luka's unanimously like
Oh,
first or
Luka's-
second.
Yeah, Luka's a PG. He's definitely there.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Just watching those highlights, like I was like, damn, JB's better than 5.
He's so good, dude. He's so good.
Yeah.
Well, another game that happened the other day, the Warriors came back from 22 points down against the Brooklyn Nets. Steph Curry with another 40-ball takeover. That's the best point guard in the league.
It's
He's
insane.
better than Luka.
Then Shea.
He's better than Shea.
Shea's-
Watch the playoffs.
Shea's had okay.
Hey, Shea's the MVP.
Shea's had more
obviously.
40-point games this year than losses, dude.
Damn, that's pretty. That's an insane stat. But hey, come playoff time, Steph is going to,
That's
show
all.
everyone again.
It's a crazy pool.
That's a
That's
crazy
crazy
stat.
ball
What
right
the
there.
hell? How is that real?
That's
yeah,
real.
he has
That is
11
real.
40-point games and 10 losses
Yeah,
this year.
I do not.
Dude, yeah,
Yeah,
because
he's so
we
And he
did,
has 4 50-point
we
games.
did
He never had one
the
before this
thing,
season.
the
High-scoring
the high
games,
scoring
yeah.
games. He has like 10
Oh,
or 6
yeah.
or 7 on
Yeah.
There was like 8 Thunder, and it's all
He's
Shea.
realistically unguardable.
He's
But
unguardable.
He played the Lakers defense. So
Hey.
we're chilling.
Well, come playoff time, it's going to get interesting. Steph looks like he's on a mission. And Jimmy had 25 points this game as well. Looks like he's coming around.
But he had an over.
Buddy had an over. But, hey, it doesn't matter. DP2 with 16 points and 9 rebounds. That's a guy who I want on a team that's going to go far in the playoffs. GP2.
He's
Big
so
factor.
good defensively.
Yeah, big factor.
He nice.
He's just, I love that build of player where they're just such a good defensive player
Yeah.
and just freak athlete.
Yeah.
Like
And they-
Amen Thompson, Asar, Peyton Watson, even from Denver. Like they're just all
They just
Belong
use their
to the volley.
athleticism. Yeah.
all those guys. Yeah, it's just so fun to watch.
Yeah, it is. Well, some upcoming games that you guys should give me some predictions on. Today,
Oh,
Magic
shit. Come
are
on.
in Milwaukee to play the Bucks. Who you guys got?
Bucks.
Magic.
Orlando Magic.
Orlando Magic.
I'm rocking with Orlando.
I'm rocking with Orlando.
I'm rocking with Orlando.
I'm not a
Magic are dead last in 3-point percentage.
Yep, all year.
And shooting 30%.
One of the worst three-point shooting teams of all time.
Yeah, it's off.
That's
It's-
not what you want in today's NBA.
They
And they have
have
Paolo.
Yeah, it's
They have
not that they don't have a
really
good young
cool-
core.
Yeah.
They just can't hit a fucking three.
We've said it before. When they get a good shooting guard, they're going to be a championship contender.
They really need to look at Trae Young
Yeah.
because I think they can realistically pair Jalen Suggs with him.
I would
That would
actually,
be perfect.
I would actually like Trae Young. If he
Hey,
went
you
to
would stop
Orlando.
hating on Trae
I
Young
would
so
stop
much.
hating on Trae
That's
Young
for
if he went to
sure.
Orlando.
All right. Well, next game today, Pistons at Warriors. Are we rocking
I
with?
got Cade and him.
I'm
Help me
actually
out.
running with Cade.
Oh yeah, that's Caden. though?
I'm running with Cade.
You're rocking with Cade in them?
Yeah.
I'm rocking with the Warriors.
Honestly,
Yes,
just 'cause,
obviously.
Like I would say the Warriors, but I mean, I just feel like the Pistons are on one right now, and they're gonna try and make a statement for sure.
Pistons
Warriors,
are like that.
They've
They're like
won.
that.
They
They're
won
the
8.
sixth seed.
They won 8 in a row,
One
and then
in
they
a row,
lost.
They just lost this
and then
last
they
one.
won again, I think.
No.
They're still they're still balling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pistons, man.
Yeah, shout out to
That shit
Pistons,
was crazy.
man.
I really am a fan of the young core, though.
Yeah.
I really wish Ivy wasn't hurt, but
Oh yeah.
Dude, that's
He was balling in the beginning
he
of the year
was. Yeah,
too.
him and Kay were.
fucked up the Kings.
Yeah,
Top- one of
fucked
the
up
top
the
backcourts.
Kings. Yeah, made us fire Mike Brown with that shot. Goddamn. Well,
you think he looks back at that and it's just like, look at that. I started.
I started off.
It's insane.
I gotta go excited.
It's like the LeBron 3 in 2021 when you looked at the Lakers bench and then Harden requested a trade the very next day.
Harden's like, I gotta get the fuck out of here, man. All right, well, today, Lakers at Celtics. I'm rocking with the C's, man. Jason Tatum and the Celtics gonna stop that 8-game win streak.
Yeah.
Shout out Milo. I'm rocking with your C's for once in my life.
I want them to win.
Just because it's against the
Lakers
Lakers.
probably gonna win.
I'm gonna rock with the Celtics.
It's in Boston.
It's tough to win 9 games in a row.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
in Boston. It'll
In
be tough to
Boston.
do that. So I'm gonna rock with the Celtics.
We know who you're going
We
with.
unanimous every year though. We go 1-1 against them.
That's
my
true.
thing. And
You
we
guys beat them last year in Boston
Exactly.
without
Us-
LeBron and AD. I remember watching.
Reed was nuclear that time.
He was.
The factor is this game, Hayes isn't playing. He's out. Kristaps isn't playing either though. So it's realistically Horford and Nemus.
Kata.
Yeah, that
Shout
guy.
out.
He's
I don't know
him.
how to say his
That's
name.
my boy.
He's him.
And Cornette as the centers. So it's like the Lakers haven't really used a center all year.
Yeah.
But they also don't have Rui, so they don't have that big guy to have down there, the bigger body. I think it's just going to be a lot of LeBron small ball 5 and using Trey Jemison, who's literally just a guy who looks like he wants to punch people half the time. and I love him for
he's
it.
He's just a big body.
He's just
that
270
is
and
just a big body.
6'11 and just Jack looks like Dwight Howard,
Yeah.
but he's not as good as him at all.
Can't catch the ball that well. His hands are a little questionable.
I think he's also shooting like 39% from the free throw line. It's so
From the free throw line is insane.
I'm gonna go. I mean, I'll go Lakers, obviously, but
Well
like
done.
I think it will be a very close game.
Yeah.
I just hope it's not like that same shit from 2 years ago when it was like they went
Oh,
to overtime.
LeBron's
dude,
crying
yeah.
for the
And
foul.
Patrick Beverly got a goddamn go back flip. Dude, I lost my
That
shit
was
when that
crazy.
happened. I think I was just like,
He pulled out the camera. I was gonna say that.
only time. I'm not a fan of Pat Bev, but I'll always love him for that.
Yeah, that was
shit was hilarious.
That was.
I love that.
I love that. I love that energy, man.
Yeah.
He did actually tweet out today. He's like, "Hey, let's not have a repeat of this, guys. Come on."
Oh, he said that. Damn.
I'll always remember bro jumping on the table after they won that play.
You can tell everybody.
That's my favorite video ever.
They won the chip in the play. All right. Well, tomorrow the Nuggets are in OKC to play the Thunder for the first of a back-to-back against them. So
They
the
play
Nuggets
twice
and the
in a
Thunder
row?
play twice in a row in OKC.
OKC
In
tomorrow.
OKC
and then
tomorrow.
Nuggets the next game.
I'm on board with that. I'll agree.
Yeah, I mean, either way.
It's gonna go 1-1.
It's gonna go 1-1.
It depends if Chet and J-Dub play
Yeah.
because they were both out last game, I think, but they still busted
Yeah.
them by like
Oh, Shea didn't even
25.
play last
Shea
game.
didn't even.
They
Yeah.
played. Aaron Wiggins dropped 30.
Oh yeah, that's
Shea
true.
just didn't play.
Who?
Who? Shout out.
I think it'll probably Thunder first game or it's gonna be split one.
Yeah, it's gonna be split.
Mm.
I hope we get the series in the playoffs. This
Nah.
would be.
That would be
You
great.
said nah.
Nah. It's gonna be Thunder Lakers.
Oh,
Finals.
that'll be a fun one too.
KC KFC
Hey,
Lakers
Kings
at 5.
Thunder Western Conference Finals. All right, tomorrow we also have another banger game. The Cavs are in Milwaukee to play the Bucks. Who we going with?
Cavs.
Cavs.
Yeah,
That team's unstoppable.
they're
dude.
good, man.
I love
There's
that
no
team.
I love
team.
that team, man.
Yeah.
They're
Love that
only-
team. I don't. I've said it before. That's pure team basketball
Yeah.
over there in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Pure team basketball. And then they're the first team to clinch a playoff spot too.
Yeah.
I agree with what Jackson said earlier. They might not lose another game during the season.
They might not. That backcourt
What's
is
their
really one of the
schedule?
best in the league.
And Mobley is just. I saw him do a.
Dude, their schedule actually looks pretty easy too.
Do the Cavs have the best backcourt in the league?
Who would be
At this point, yeah.
Right now?
better?
I'm gonna say yes.
It's hard to say no.
Yeah, it's right
Yeah,
now.
consistency-
Probably now.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't really
You-
think there's
you
anybody
could,
else.
like-
I mean, it was Kyrie and Luca.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now he's not there.
True.
yeah. Actually, no,
You
I
could
don't
make
see
the argument of Luca and Reeves.
No,
No.
you can't make that argument.
the consistency
It's
is
Donovan
way.
Mitchell and
yeah.
Darius Garland. Oh, Lord.
No.
Yeah, well, we can move on to Luke's Law of the Week.
I'm gonna start out with the hot man of the week, Kawhi Leonard.
Oh, shit.
He-
Always before they play the Kings, man. Always.
Dude.
Change it right now.
So I was writing this. I wrote this down. I said, not intentional, but I hope he doesn't go off. And,
Yeah,
like,
hopefully he doesn't continue
It
this.
sounded. I was just like, all right, cool. Yeah, Kawhi. I was like, oh shit, we play him tomorrow.
Yeah.
No. Okay. So I said, that being said, take overs on the Kawhi since I picked him.
His are pretty low.
Yeah, they're pretty low, so
Yeah.
take the overs. The last 3 games that he's played, he did miss the one in Detroit. 24 points per game, 7 rebounds, 3 assists.
Damn.
I mean, Kawhi's still doing it. People saying his knees are bummed. People saying he's should retire, this and that. But he steps on the court and he's going to kill you both sides of the ball. And I mean, he's still playing a lot of minutes too. When he does step on the court, he's playing around 30, 35 minutes a game.
But how consistent can that go?
That's the thing. Sometimes he does take a day off, like a day or two off, but when he does get on the court, it's like without a question.
He's still him. Yeah. I'm scared to play the Clippers tomorrow because of Kawhi being healthy.
That's the
and
thing.
Harden's been dropping 50s.
Yeah, Harden dropped, I think, like 80 points in the last 2 games.
Jesus. Or like 50 on the Pistons just because of what Malik Beasley said.
Malik Beasley said.
Malik Beasley, how are you going to go and say, he's easy to guard? I got to start Thompson for you, my boy. That's you can't do that.
It didn't matter. Harden said, "Oh, you want to see Houston Harden? You want to see the real beard? All right." He showed up.
Bro said he's easy to guard for the rest of my teammates.
Not for me.
Not me.
He's dropped 100 in the last 3 games. Shout out.
All right. Well, moving on to ICU. My pick is a rare one. Some guy who has been hurt most of the year, hasn't got too much, minutes on this team because they're a really good team. But I'm going Jalen Williams, not J-Dub. The tall one, Duke Dennis looking one. He had a triple-double last game.
What the fuck?
10 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists when all those guys were hurt and the Thunder blew out the Trailblazers. So had to give him some love. I think he's honestly a really good backup center. So that's
he's
what
our
I'm going
third string, realistically.
True.
Because they usually go with Chet Hartenstein starting and then one of them stays
rotate in.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
So having your third string be able to drop a triple-double is ridiculous.
That's just the developing. That's just how good they are developing.
The Thunder
players.
development is ridiculous.
It's insane, and they draft so well too. So, shout out to Jalen Williams.
I got Aaron Nesmith from the Pacers. He
Shout
dropped
out Nesmith.
21 against the Hawks the other day. That was a
the guy who created basketball.
No, but then the last 3 games, 27, 16, 21. He's been popping off.
He's a big part of that Pacers team. He's one of the best perimeter defenders in the Eastern Conference. I'd say that.
Yeah.
I got Brandon Williams.
Brandon Williams from
the Mavs
the
have
Dallas
absolutely
Mavericks.
nobody on their roster playing right now. They had 7 guys the other day, and he's dropped 34.
34
on
for
10
Brandon
of 15
Williams.
shooting, too. And he's played the last 5 games for them, and he's shooting 45% from 3 and averaging 15 a game.
Hey, they might have found another guy to help next year with Kyrie and AD.
And they will probably trade him.
They'll probably get rid of him. Through that. All right, well... Anything else before we move on to Sac Republic's first game tonight?
Sac Republic.
Deb, are you disappointed in anything this week?
Yeah, I'll do a short one.
Okay.
I'll kind of go completely off topic. I'm gonna go baseball.
I like it.
I would like to watch some of the spring training games.
Hey, that's valid. That's a great one.
You guys gave out one large contract this offseason. Maybe spend some of that money on streaming the damn spring training games because I would like to watch. They're actually having a pretty good spring. The boys they're hitting, they're scoring runs, and the pitching's always going to take a little bit more to longer to get up to shape. But I would like to watch all this offense that's happening. I mean, I finally got to watch one today. Matt Chapman makes 2 crazy ass plays and then hits a 3-run home run. I would like to see that. So I'll keep it short. And that's definitely my disappointment. Please let me watch spring training.
I love that one. That's a good one because I haven't been able to watch any of the A's.
Yeah, no,
I think the Giants and A's play a couple times coming up.
They always
on
do that.
Tuesday, there's one on TV, and then the next week there's one on
Is
TV.
either of them in Sac?
No.
No,
Okay.
They're probably both in Arizona still.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, yeah. So
Usually
they're not
they
doing
do-
any preseason.
Oh, they usually do the thing where they play at Oracle or they play
Yeah, that's usually right before
right
the
before.
season starts, but I don't think
I saw. I looked at the schedule and they're not doing that this year.
Yeah, okay.
I think it's just because
Squares.
they're not in Oakland.
Oakland,
anymore.
it's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Sac Republic though.
Yes,
we'll
sir.
get into more baseball after, but Sac Republic first game tonight.
Sac Republic coming back. They had a great season. I mean, it was a good season last year. A little bit of a disappointing end. They were sitting at the 2 seed pretty much all season, and then they kind of stumbled. The last game of the season dropped them down to the 5th in the Western Conference. But they did get eliminated in the first round. So then they parted ways from their head coach Mark Briggs. So 5 years with him. Great head coach. Had a great record with us the whole time, and brought us to. He brought us to the finals one year, and then he also brought us to the U.S. Open Cup finals one year against the Miami FC a while ago. Or no, not Miami. It was Orlando. And that was a huge game. Playing against multiple MLS teams as a USL team, it's like, I mean, minor league versus major league.
Yeah.
It's really impressive to see like how these small clubs in the USL can really make a difference and grow soccer here in the US. But no, it's looking pretty good. We signed a lot of new players, some international talent. 25-year-old Dominic Wayner from he grew up with Borussia Dortmund's youth program. So playing in Germany, you're definitely going to have a lot more skill than a lot of the guys here in the U.S. And then also a veteran that played down in the Liga MX, Michael Benitez. He played for Chivas USA and then also the Chivas Academy down in Mexico. But he's a really good defender. He'll add a lot of depth back there in the line. And then
some new pickups.
Yeah, great new pickups. New coach, McNeil. He was over in Tampa Bay, brought them to the finals twice, brought some players over from Scotland. Big news, though, is the new cup that they added into Sac Republic.
Oh.
The USL League. USL Jägermeister Cup. So yeah. We're going to be doing some Jaeger bombs on the show in a little bit.
No.
Wow.
But so there's the USL Championship, main cup, USL Open Cup, that's the USL and MLS teams going in for one cup. And then the USL Jägermeister Cup is just the two, like the USL champions, the USL League One and League Two. So it's really just trying to grow all these small club teams and bring in a bit more soccer recognition here to the U.S.
Hey, I like it.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hopefully go to some Sac Republic games this year.
Yes, sir.
Feel like I'm more into soccer than I've ever been, so hopefully they have a exciting year. Because last year I went to a game and it was 0-0. So
Yeah.
hopefully I go to a game where
0-0.
Yeah,
it's 0-0. Hopefully I go to a game where they, it's more exciting.
Definitely not a basketball excitement all the time.
Not a lot of scoring, but
Not a
it's
whole lot
more
of scoring, but
it's basketball and baseball all into one. It's low scoring, but it's also just a lot of movement all the time. So
yeah.
it's
Whole lot
the
of,
best of both.
Yeah, no, it's a whole lot of fun. We'll be bringing you weekly coverage. They only play like one game a week, so it'll be easy to cover everything like this.
Yeah, hopefully as the year goes on, you'll teach guys like us more about who's doing what and who to root
Yeah,
for. And
question. Do any of those USL teams, is that what it's called, have a chance to make it into the MLS? Or
Yeah, so we had a chance a few years ago.
Is it like you have to win a championship or something?
You have to have investors.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to have full-on investors into your club. Championships could help that. It'll bring eyes to your city. Like the first year Sac Republic was a USL team, we lost the opening game. I was there, 3-0 to Orange County FC. The last game we played was against Orange County FC in the championship, and we won. So, first year we won the championship. We've been a good team the whole time. We had a chance back in 2019 when I was going to graduate high school. They bought the rail yards right north of downtown, and they're going to build a whole new stadium there. They still are going to do that for the USL, but it was going to be an MLS stadium because there was a billionaire investor coming in to Sacramento, putting in money for the whole team, going to move it, and then going to bring us to MLS. But then COVID hit. It hit him hard, so he had to pull the money out, and then we lost that investment. But we're still growing. There's the new investors that are in, going to help out a lot. We're going to grow downtown. It's going to definitely help. But we will have an MLS team in the future.
Yeah.
I got an idea of somebody who can, take some of his money and invest in that. And kind of stay away from my basketball team.
Dude, I feel like the vet can definitely do it. 100%.
He loves Sac.
He loves Sac.
And he tried to do the hockey. He obviously tried to bring the WNBA back.
Yeah.
Got the MLB.
Tried to be So I don't see why Vivek hasn't helped out at all with this whole thing.
Yeah.
But Sac Republic did just sell to a corporation in Elk Grove. It's a Native American corporation, and they're investing a whole lot into this thing. So it's going to grow Sacramento, and the team's going to get better. Shout out the boy Roro Rodriguez, been on the team since day one. Just re-signed him. He's our captain, and he's going to ball out again.
Respect. I'm excited for the year. Hopefully they win some games.
Kind of hyped me up a little bit.
Yeah, that hyped me up a little bit.
Yes, sir.
But we'll close the show out with some baseball talk. Spring training in full effect. The A's extended Lawrence Butler 7 years.
Good pickup.
And they extended Brett Rooker in the offseason. Me and Luke have never experienced an offseason where we extend our best players. So this is a big moment for us.
It was like I don't know how I felt. Like it was just like what 6 years
yeah.
or 7 like
We're
$66
going to have
million
this guy for this long?
and then we got both of them on a budget
Yeah,
contract.
how did we sign them to that little of a contract?
Because they paid them before they were ever able to hit free agency. So, like, when you come up in the MLB, you have to have 5 years of service time to
that's
finally, like, arbitration and
Oh,
all
so
that.
that's why.
So they just
Yeah.
said, we're going to reward you and kind of, like, help ourselves.
That makes
like,
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I guess because in the MLB the show, I'm not allowed to go
Yeah.
talk to other fucking teams.
Like the Giants were going to do that with Camilo Doval last year, and then his year kind of blew up. So, I mean, he's only been in the league for 3, so they were kind of going to reward him by giving him a contract, but they don't have to. So that's why they didn't when his year kind of went down the drain last year.
Yeah, well, on the complete other side, the Dodgers, you're a Dodgers fan, coming off a championship.
Too much LA shit
What?
we're talking about, Brett.
What'd you guys do in this offseason to just be the Dodgers even more than you already were? Signing guys to deals
not
you're not going
much.
to pay for another 4 years.
We got Blake Snell.
Oh my god.
Not much.
I
We
We
forgot
got
about
Roki
Blake Snell.
Sasaki.
Just got a couple Cy Youngs.
We just have the best 5-man pitching rotation ever.
Probably.
still
We got
looking
Luis Scar, we got
bad.
Michael Conforto, we got
You stole Conforto
Hey,
from the
listen,
Giants?
okay.
we got
Who?
Hyeseon Kim.
Don't get too excited about the Conforto one. I want to warn you right now.
He can hit.
He's back.
I mean, yeah, that he's probably gonna be like like kind of like not start every day
Hey.
too. Like he'll probably get platooned but-
Against righties, probably,
yeah, but
It depends, because if we have Eidman at or a second, and then we have Mookie at short, because that's where he's going to play this year,
Yeah.
we don't have anybody out at center. So the issue with that then is that our right and left we need to have filled with Teoscar and Conforto.
Yeah.
So that center
Makes
spot
sense.
is really where things are going to get interesting, because Eidman was a Gold Glover there. So
Yeah,
if he
I
goes
think-
back out there, then then Kim has to go back to or go there. But his bat's been really iffy so far. He's still getting adjusted from Korean League.
Yeah,
But-
that's true.
Roki Sasaki's ridiculous,
He's
and he's going to
nasty.
be a generationally good pitcher. And
You still have Yamamoto. Otani's going to pitch
Yeah.
now. But
You got Jose Vasquez from Minnesota too.
yeah, bro. They
Question.
What?
so with the NBA, I said many times that I would take the field over the Celtics. Is that the same for baseball?
Yeah. Well, I just feel like,
Dodgers or the field?
I feel
The
like
field.
we've
I'm
literally
taking the
seen
field as
it.
well.
I'm taking
You're
the field.
taking the Dodgers.
We've seen it the last few years. Like the Dodgers have been in the World Series the last 3 years, I think it is,
No,
and they've only the last year.
we lost to
Oh yeah,
NLDS back to back.
there was the Rangers one, yeah. But like that just kind of proves my point. Like it's not always the best team in baseball, even more so that wins. Like playoffs in baseball are the biggest crapshoot
Yeah.
in sports.
It's who's hot, who's hitting him
legitimately.
well right
so
now.
if they're playing well going into the playoffs, which they got a lot of good players and they probably will be. But I don't know. I'd still
It's going to be really reliant
Yeah.
on injuries.
Last
Yeah.
back-to-back World Series champion was the Yankees in 2000.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen in baseball.
Does not happen anymore in baseball
Yeah.
at all. I think that
AIDS
was,
gonna do it.
that-
Eggs are gonna do it. It's all for sack. Stay in sack.
No,
I
I mean,
hope.
honestly, the Yankees will win the World Series before the Dodgers win it back-to-back.
I don't think
I don't
I think
think-
the Yankees got worse.
I said before they
Yeah.
get back-to-back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
the Yankees they lost that World Series because they just don't know how to play baseball.
They played horrible. Yeah.
Go to first, Garrett fucking.
And the Dodgers
Oh,
are just
dude.
literally like you're. So this might be
That must
confusing.
that was an experience.
You've probably never been that locked into baseball,
Dude, I
Like-
watched every single. I've been more locked in since 2017 because
Yeah.
of Bellinger.
Yeah.
Fucking love that guy.
Bellinger.
That was the reason I got into it. But once 2020 hit and we won, I just got like I followed it so religiously.
Oh, I forgot y'all won in 2020. That shit just didn't really matter, I guess. Kind of like the
That was
Lakers.
the Disney.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I
Coming
think the
from a
bubble matters.
Kings fan is crazy.
The bubble in basketball, I think, was more real than the baseball.
Talking
Because
about
baseball.
irrelevancy is crazy.
No,
I'm
yeah.
Kings
Hey,
fan,
I'm
man.
kidding, by the way.
Rich, baby.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
They only played 50 games that season.
Yeah,
in
that's
the
why it
regular
didn't really
season,
mean much. They only played
But
50
the bubble
games.
one, yeah, that was definitely like.
Yeah. I still forget the Dodgers won it in 2020, though. I don't really forget the Lakers won it.
I mean,
but-
yeah, people will discredit that one all the time.
Yeah.
But
Like,
like,
this
we
last
won it
one was a
last
lot
year,
more,
so
yeah,
I mean,
like,
what
real.
did Kiki say? Fuck them.
Yeah, literally.
Hey, that's the good right mentality to have.
Yeah.
Dodgers did what they were supposed to.
Yeah,
Not gonna
it's
happen.
crazy. They have
Not-
all
not
those
again.
stars,
Not
and
again.
they're still so like just fundamental, bro. Like,
Yeah.
shout out Dave Roberts, bro. Like,
and
I
our farm
hate Dave
system
Roberts,
is
but
top 5 still.
Yeah.
shout out, bro. He was a giant, so you know I gotta always give bro.
Dave
love.
Roberts was a Giant?
Yeah.
Respect. Respect.
That was
All
right
right.
before the Red Sox, right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we could close out. A's going to make a run this year, winning the
sir.
AL West, saying it now.
Won both our games today.
Yeah, play 2 in a day. That's crazy.
I think they split squads.
Yeah, they did
Oh,
some
okay.
spots. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not locked into the spring training, but yeah, we'll be back on Wednesday on the radio. Go subscribe on YouTube if you
Yes,
haven't.
sir.
Go leave a like and comment. Like
Comment.
Luke said, y'all lame.
We need Instagram comments. We need YouTube comments.
Yeah.
We need you guys to interact with us.
Yeah,
Even if
yeah,
it's
yeah.
ideas.
Say something.
Something.
If you watch the whole video, say LeBron with
Yeah.
a bunch of different letters. In
That's
there
how I
like
know
that.
you
Yeah.
made it tonight.
That's how we know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, boys.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
We'll be back.
Cheers.
Out.